Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Today is the 10th of June 2021 and it's a bit nicely overcast this morning, which is fine. We could do with a little bit of a letdown with the heat, give the plants a bit of a better chance, and it'll give us a chance to get the watering under control. So we don't have a back tap or an outside tap of any description, so everything's got to be done by watering cans, which, you know, at the end of the day, it's not bad exercise, but, you know, it can take its toll. So, today, I was actually thinking last night, because I've been doing a lot of research, because that's what I do. I research a lot of things to do with alternative ways of healing and such, and one thing that I was really noticing was that, so I'm just checking the plants as we go, so we're just taking a little wander. So one thing that I've been noticing is that we are trained very early on in the ways that we eat. Sometimes we won't eat certain things because we've never had them before in our lives. It makes it very difficult. If you give in to picky eating, makes it even worse if you don't have the money to buy certain types of food, which is better for you and your children, etc. And if you're in a family where, you know, the parents are addicts of whatever reason and pretty much let the kids run riot as far as food's concerned, or fend for themselves rather, you know, those kids are put at a major disadvantage to other kids, which we all know. We know this stuff, we're not stupid. But what about kids that are fed properly? And, you know, they get their meat and 3 veg, and they get their breakfast, and they get their lunch, and all this sort of stuff. Is it right? Now, I'm not going to lie, when my kids were at school, my kids used to take 2 lunches to school with them because some of their mates didn't get lunch. Hell, they didn't get breakfast, and what they got sent, what my kids took in for them, was possibly the only thing they were going to get that day, unless they came over to my place for dinner, which happened on a regular basis. Used to have a house full of children all wanting to be fed, which was normal and fine, you know. I'm not going to turn away a child that needs a meal. But those kids got to try a lot of different things because I didn't do for picky eating. Didn't work that way. But what if you're neurotypical, or you're neurodivergent, sorry. So you're autistic or have ADHD, and you have a certain rhythm and a routine, which is necessary. Yes, some neurodivergent kids do not know when they're hungry, or they don't know how to listen when their body's hungry or thirsty, because they get completely focused on what they're doing. What about the kids that don't? What about the kids that are so wrapped up in routine that they just eat because it's that time of day? What if they become adults that just eat at that time of day because they haven't learnt to listen to their bodies? Because that's their routine. You get up, you do your chores, you have breakfast, you get on with the day. Mid-morning, you have a 10-15 minute break, you have something to eat, you have a drink, you get on with the rest of your morning. Somewhere between 12 and 2, you have lunch, which could range anywhere from a main meal to a snack. And then, mid-afternoon, you have something small to get you through to dinner, which is generally a main meal. In some households it's a snack because the kids have eaten, particularly in the UK, it tends to be something like beans on toast or something like that, because the kids will have had dinner or expected to have had dinner at school from school dinners. That's a lot of food for a little kid. And I know kids are growing, right? Don't get me wrong, I know kids are growing. But when the schools aren't providing properly balanced meals, because they have 50p per child to feed 1,000 kids. So it's easier for them to get chips and chicken nuggets than it is to make a proper meal, or to once a week do a roast dinner, because the rest of the week they've given the kids sandwiches. I kind of feel like they're getting the wrong end of the deal. Not only that, but it's not helping the kids learn, and it's not helping them listen to their own bodies. There is a way of doing it, and each kid's different, yes, but kids need to learn how to listen to their bodies. Otherwise they become adults who can't listen to their bodies, and they get mixed signals, and they eat when they're told, and they may not be hungry, which means that they're overfeeding themselves. I'm talking about this because I'm pretty damn sure that's what I've been doing for a lot of years. I've been eating at the times, because I am autistic. I am an autistic person who needs routine in their life, or at least to know what's going on if there's going to be changes in the next day. I eat breakfast because that's expected. It's the most important meal of the day. I eat lunch because it's expected. If it was up to me, I would probably eat at around about 9-10 o'clock, and then possibly not until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's what I've learnt to listen to my body in the last few weeks, because that's when I get hungry. I think I'm in the habit of having things like popcorn in the evening when I'm watching TV, because my brain associates popcorn and snacks with watching TV or movies. And since we watch a lot of movies and we don't watch TV because we don't have a TV license, so we don't actually watch TV, and we don't have an aerial, so we really can't watch TV. So we just watch Netflix, and we watch Amazon, or we watch whatever streaming channel we can find to watch that doesn't require a TV license. And I'll sit there with a bowl of popcorn, not even think twice about it. But I really don't need it. I mean, I like popcorn. Don't get me wrong. If you don't like popcorn, I'm not sure we can be friends. But, is it really a sensible thing? Yes, children need to be fed, but children will tell you when they're hungry. My kids were really good at telling me when they were hungry. So I used to have things like bowls of fruit out and about for them. There were things in the fridge that they had a kid's fridge, and there was things in that fridge for them. They were healthy snacks. They weren't not great snacks. I used to do all the baking in the house. I used to do all of that. And I used to make the kids snacks. I used to get one multi-pack of chips for the week or the fortnight. And if it was gone because they ate them all on the weekend, then they had none for school. So that was up to them. There was always some left at the end of the fortnight, though. The amount of times my kids came home and didn't have their lunch until after school, that was pretty big. There was a lot of times that happened. They were more hungry after school than they were during school. They were too busy at school to be doing anything. But when they got home, it was like, and relax, and I can eat. and that was fine. And I didn't mind that. That was okay. But I think we need to teach our children that it's okay to eat during the time of their own body clock, because then they become adults that eat when their body clock is telling them, or their hunger signals are telling them that it's hungry, the body's hungry, or it's thirsty, and looking for those signals, because otherwise they just become adults that are eating for the sake of eating because that's the time of day and it's expected. We never used to eat that way, you know. We never did. This is an incredibly recent thing. Incredibly recent thing. Like in the last 100 years. Yeah. Might have to look at this again sometime. Anyway, guys, whatever you're doing, whatever you think about, whatever your little moment of thought is today, have a good one. Enjoy the outside. Have fun with your gardens. And look after yourselves. I love you heaps. Bye-bye.